Fun, aggressive, almost like a brotherhood as a team. I think I was 12-year-old, school teacher. Football's not your sport, Mr. Hill. Get with me. Training's on Wednesday night. So that was a bit about it, really. Spent a lot of time in detention for fighting and things like that. So that's the way he's seen as to channel me aggression. My first game, I really enjoyed it. Come off hurting, but loved the feeling, sort of thing. So I carried on with it and enjoyed it from there.
Well, my dad's a local farmer and played here. I started playing when I was very little. I got two older brothers and Dad played rugby, so it was football, golf, rugby, tennis, everything when we were growing up, and if it wasn't one, it was the other. I went away to boarding school when I was 9. I went to Moden and then went on to Sedbergh, and then when I finished my education I started playing back at Morpeth again, and I haven't played continuously since. I had a few, Spatmy done me a few times and called it a day for a few years, but felt like I was missing out on what was actually my mates were doing. It's the enjoyment of it that got me back into it. The rest, as I say, is what's sort of made me who I am today.
Ex-players and family members, there's a lot of support that way. I mean, the team we had out on Saturday just gone that played West Hartlepool, there was 8 players whose fathers have played at Morpeth first team.
Integral, it's integral to Morpeth. I mean, you've got a big crowd here today against Pocklington. The games are sponsored, and the sponsors and the guests come and watch the games. It's very important, and it creates the right environment for people to play.
It just shows you how tight of a club this really is and how family orientated it is.
I took my kids to a game early on in the week at Leicester, and it was just so much nicer taking them to a rugby game than it is a football game. So everything from the language difference on the terraces to, let's say, what you're seeing on the pitch as well. So
we are from Holland. We're coming over for the second time now to see a World Tournament match. We've been to Cardiff 3 weeks ago. The boys are playing rugby in Holland, where rugby is a very small sport, and they made us such enthusiastic that we are delighted to say, okay, we're going to the World Cup.
I mean, I went down to one of the games and had a fantastic time. Tremendous organisation, tremendous atmosphere around Twickenham, but it always left you with the appetite. If England had been in that position, the country would have been lifting.
It's unfortunate that England went out so early. I'm not personally gutted about that, but at least Scotland did 3.
In Holland, it's a very tiny sport. We have the privilege to have in our hometown a guy who's playing now with the international team, and he is now going to play international, and he is playing now here in Scotland. And in Scotland you can see that his level, where he was from an extraordinary height in Holland, he's a normal level here in Scotland, so the difference is huge.
But I think definitely hosting a World Cup here, I mean, you can see like thousands of people around here, like definitely really good for boost numbers, attendance for local clubs.
We've seen, I think, probably about 7 or 8 new kids come at our age group, and I'm assuming that's across the board. No doubt if England had done a little bit better than they ended up doing, it would have been even more so. But we've got a good bunch of kids, and I think for our age group, we've currently got something like 37 kids turn up every Sunday.
You can see just off TV and things like that how big rugby's getting, like even the last 10 years. In the club, you've noticed a few few new faces through the doors and things like that as well. I mean, I know it happens with everything. I mean, when Wimbledon's on, you see kids down the park with their tennis rackets and that, and it was the same when the World Cup was on. You were walking around the streets and actually seeing kids with England rugby tops on rather than Newcastle tops and things like that, and throwing a rugby ball around, so it was good to see. We had Phil Godman here last year who helped massively. I mean, he got through promotion, basically, but he helped out. The Falcons are actually pretty good at that, to be fair. They send a few of their players out to clubs. Ponteland, they've got a few Falcons lads doing the grassroots stuff as well.
Football is like this tribal culture. I think rugby, there's an element of respect.
If you see around a rugby pitch or around a football pitch, the atmosphere is completely different.
Better atmosphere, no trouble, just a better crowd, I think, following rugby than there is with football.
Where on the football pitch, all the parents are screaming against the opponent. At the rugby pitch, it's supporting them in helping the own team to grow, and that's, I think, the biggest difference in the two.
I think it goes all the way through. It's learned behaviour, isn't it? People see sort of what's happening in football on the game, and young people follow that, and there's just more respect because they learn respect from a young age in rugby. You respect the referee, you respect the other players.
I still think it's instilled in the teamwork and the team ethics are fundamental, and it teaches them so many good habits. If you look at it in comparison perhaps with soccer or football, the discipline and the respect for referees needs and must be maintained by rugby union, and I certainly think teaches children the right benefit, the right ethics and the right way of going about things in playing sport. I think it's the friendship and the people I've been associated with 40 years, I went to school with. I played golf this morning with those people as well, and you come back and you socialise, and these people you've played rugby with in your formative years, you've come back and played at a senior level, and it's just the comradeship and the friendship that continues to evolve and develop, and it's great, it really is.